Australia is the host of this year's Olympic Games. And in the sport of gymnastics, if you think they have no chance, remount your mental apparatus. American Peggy Liddick leads them.
When the doors are open, every day I have trained those girls to run through when you see an opportunity, and that's what they did, so.
Allana Slater and her Aussie mate finished ahead of the United States at the last World Championships. That was a major deal.
To go out in team finals and beat US was quite a big thing. We were very thrilled and ecstatic. I think the US has also gone, oh, Australia beat us, we better get working a little bit more.
Shocked, the Americans accept the challenge, the rivalry, and the big picture.
I don't know if we're solely concentrating on Australia. I think it's, all the general countries. We want to prove that USA is the best, so I think that's the ultimate goal.
Hopefully we'll beat USA again, but I don't know, anything can happen.
NBC Sports welcomes you to the Bayfront Arena in St. Petersburg, Florida for the Aussie Haircare Gymnastics Invitational. It's a qualifier in the Visa American Cup Series to send some of the best gymnasts in the world to the American Cup in late February. Let's start things off right away with this rivalry from Australia, Allana Slater. She's the leader of the contingent here for the women. What sets her apart, Elfie Schlegel?
Well, I'll tell you what she does very well is she's a very consistent athlete. She's one of the top guns for this Australian team. She's come here to win this event.
Tim Daggett?
Every time I see this kid over the last year, she just visibly, dramatically looks better and better. Good start.
First of 2 vaults, the men have 6 rotations, the women have 4. It's all part of the next 2 hours of competition here on NBC.
Now this vault, she's doing a handspring pike front with a half turn.
The women have to perform 2 different vaults. This one is only valued out of a 9.6.
Lay it out, no matter what, Allana. You got absolutely nothing to lose, okay?
Nothing to lose, but I got to talk to Peggy earlier and found out that she was hoping to do this second vault in the laid out position, and
it's tough for her.
Yeah, you see her arching her shoulders back like that. This isn't going to be easy for her. I haven't seen her really have enough power to get this thing around yet.
Good girl, all right. Same vault.
Yeah.
Now what just happened there?
Well,
she performed the same vault as her first, and unfortunately that's going to be a major deduction because in this competition you have to clearly do 2 different vaults.
Well, yeah, that's a bit of a press.
More open than the pipe.
It was, and what Peggy's talking about there, this could be a bad thing right now. If her body, if the judges don't call this laid out or stretched, you see that bend in her hips right there. If they call that pike, it should be called the same vault, and that means it should be a 1-point deduction.
1 full point off the score.
And it definitely is not. I don't know.
They didn't take the deduction.
No, they didn't.
I don't quite get how they get that score.
So an apparent break for the Australians. Now we go to the men. They're on the second rotation. They've already competed on the floor, and it was a low 8.9 for John Roethlisberger, who's looking for his 3rd chance at the Olympic Games. He's come all the way back now, 2 years removed from major knee reconstructive surgery.
And he is one tough character, a warrior out on the gymnastics floor. As you mentioned, 8.9, not a great start for John, but what he does so well is he will fight, claw, scrape till the bitter end.
2 American men here today. John McCready. The top American male from the first 2 events will advance to the American Cup. That's to allow Blaine Wilson an assured spot in late February. The best American today would have to beat Jay Thornton's score from the first event in Las Vegas.
Just the dismount here. Well, just exactly what you'd expect from John Roethlisberger.
Now, in his head, he's battling back from a rough episode on the floor, so that's a major step for him today.
I tell you, though, he's such a fighter, but he goes from start to finish. He's not worried about what's happening halfway through. He just wants to know at the end that he's going to end up on top.
Well, he's from Minnesota, the Golden Gopher, who dug himself a little bit of a hole, but he's climbed out of it and gets a 9.537 on the pommel horse. Now, the American team on the women's side is devastated by injury. That's why Tasha Schweikert is competing again. She had a chance in Las Vegas. Elise Ray, if you had to pick one American female gymnast to do a routine today to try and win you a medal, she'd probably be it, right, guys?
She's the one.
Absolutely correct. This probably not her strongest apparatus.
Body position was great. Feel that same block layout, 1.5. All right, good job, good job. Stay with that.
But she is improving greatly on this event. Kelly says that's the one thing that stands in her way is trying to get 2 top valued vaults. This vault is only out of a 9.6. Her second vault should be a 9.8 vault.
That's Coach Kelly Hill.
Of course, former coach of Olympic great Dominique Dawes.
Come on, baby.
So we're going to see a second vault, different vault. She'll do the same one we just saw, but with an extra full twist.
Another big step.
Another big step. It was a blind landing, very tough to land.
Soft on the board. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
All right, you made it through your first event. Now we can concentrate. Okay? First vault was really nice.
We'll be getting Elise Ray's marks in a moment. Al Trautwig along with Tim Daggett and Elfie Schlegel. And guys, you know, if Elise Ray was an IPO a year ago, her stock in the first day of trading would have spiked up huge. Since then, a slow and steady rise, and it would take another good hit if she could pull this off. Why is this so important to her, Tim?
Well, if you look at the true big names in gymnastics, American gymnastics, the stars, they have all come to the American Cup, and they've all won. This is a huge opportunity for her to become a leader.
Americans like Tim Daggett in the American Cup. Now, Elfie, every nation that's ever hosted the Olympics puts a little extra oomph into their program so they can show off. Where does this fit in for Allana Slater and what the Aussies are trying to do here?
Well, Allana Slater, make no mistake, she's here to win. She would like to qualify to the finals at the American Cup. In fact, to win the American Cup would be more important to her than to win her own national championship. She feels that that would do so much more for her reputation than to be at home competing at her own national championships.
So Allana Slater gets the major break. They don't deduct for her repeating on the second vault. Elise Ray gets a 9.387 and leads Allana Slater and the Australians by a little more than a tenth. We're just getting started in St. Petersburg. At the Bayfront Center Arena in St. Petersburg, the top 3 international gymnasts advance to February 26th American Cup live here on NBC. The highest American woman also goes. Plus, the highest American man goes if he can beat Jay Thornton's score from the first event in the Visa American Cup Series. We have controversy in the women's competition already. Elfie, explain.
Well, what happened with Allana Slater is in this competition, you clearly have to do 2 different vaults. You can see the different numbers. The 2406 was her first vault and 2509 her second vault. The second vault she was hoping would gain her 3/10 higher. What she needed to do in order to get that was keep her body in a stretched, laid out position. But as you can see, they were exactly the same.
So by rule, her score should have been in the 8s.
Definitely. I mean, when she does the same vault, that rule comes into play, and it's a deduction.
Over to the men's competition now. Things are very close. Roethlisberger and McCready side by side in 5th and 6th position. Obviously, that is something